here in my sulcata enclosure. There's one right there, one right here. These guys, every time they see me, they come straight at me. And as you guys may remember, I used to keep all of my sulcatas at my friend Johnny's house, but now we are at my grandfather's house. So these guys are moved into a new enclosure. It is a smaller area, but it is better in some ways. Like for example, for collecting nests, it's a lot easier to control their laying spots and not miss any nest, because I can, for the most part, see the whole enclosure. Whereas in Johnny's house, it was kind of like a slope at the end where the tortoises would dig their nest and we would miss a lot of nests. In the last video, you guys saw the tortoise that was laying here. So you can see they've already started laying against this whole back wall. And this isn't the best nesting spots. We're probably going to add more sand. But before I added any nesting grounds, I kind of just wanted to have the tortoises in here and see what they naturally just went for and where they try to nest. And Tink is one of my fastest tortoises. Look at this. This guy runs pretty much as fast as I walk. And this sums up tortoises for you. Follow you around all over the place looking for snacks. This is Popeye. You can tell by the popped out eyes. Tank, which is the first sulcata I ever had. I've had this guy since I was 3 years old, and he was about this big. And this girl right here is Nyx. This was from the second group of sulcatas that I purchased. It was Nyx and Shadow, which is over there. And then the one that came with Popeye in the last group was the nameless one over there, which is in fact her name. And this one here is Luna, which is actually Tank's favorite girl. There, he's actually demonstrating. I've had her since 2018. She was my first female, and I suspect that's why Tank likes her most.
As you guys may already know from our thumbnail, we rehomed 5 of our 11 sulcatas. We rehomed Crush, Athena, Lil Cutie, and 2 other female tortoises.
And I kind of just wanted to update you guys on the sulcatas really quickly, but Tank's busy at work. He spends about 90% of his time awake doing this. So we're just going to let him to it, and we're going to move on to the Redfoot tortoises and that big structure back there. But first, let's talk about their hide really quick. This is still a work in progress, as you can see. I'm actually going to cover this area too, and I also wanted to test this out before I completely locked it in place. So what I've realized is I kind of want to lift it more for the light fixtures that are going to go in there to heat them up in the winter, just so that there's a little bit more space. I also want to do the same for the Redfoot enclosure, but as you can see, as of right now, it works pretty well. These are some of the Redfoots. The rest are out and about in the one leopard tortoise that I have. But I'm also thinking of increasing the height of this just one more block, so that the lamp isn't too close to them, because of all the dry grass, I'm a little bit scared of having a heat source like that. If anything, the other thing I've thought about is a big heat pad on the bottom of the lid, but we're still testing it out and figuring out exactly what I want to do. Of course, I'm going to insulate the doors as well, but right now we're just putting a bunch of hay, stuffing it in there, and if we need to, heating it up. And here's Redfoot number 6 digging a little nest next to the structure that I also teased in the last video. I'm gonna make a video on all of this very soon, but for now I don't want to spoil too much of it. Here are a few more of the Redfoots and a couple more. These guys love being nosy and checking out everything that's going on, so they're exploring the new cages that we're building. But yeah, I already have some animals in here. I'm not going to show you guys just yet, and we're going to be putting some more in here and in this big 12-foot by 12-foot enclosure. So let me know in the comments what you guys think we're going to be putting into these new enclosures. And it looks like this girl is just starting to dig. It's going to take a while to start laying eggs, so we're not going to see that in this video most likely. Check it out. It looks like Popeye is digging a nest to lay some eggs, while Tank is fertilizing some eggs. And it looks like she's already got a pretty good hole built up, so hopefully she'll finish laying today. That ground's pretty soft. Popeye has a huge pit that has to be over a foot deep in there. This ground is a lot softer than the tortoise from that other video that we made, but she decided to go against the wall, and as you can see, she pretty much dug every couple of feet to see which spot was better until she finally decided to lay over here. This wall isn't the best for digging. This area is, and we're working on adding more sand pits around the corners so that they could have some softer ground. It looks like she's starting to push, so you can see she's pulling her head in and she's not digging anymore. And of course, here comes another sulcata to explore. This one's Shadow, and every time they see us, they always get curious. This girl's still pushing here, She's dug a super deep nest, so I can't see if she's laid any eggs, but I put my hand in there a few seconds ago and there was no eggs. The reason why she gets the name Popeye is because, well, as you can tell, her eyes kind of pop out of her head a little bit. So you can see. And she has no problem. She sees fine and everything. She just has pop eyes. This is a regular Sulcata's eyes right here. Let's see if this girl has laid any eggs yet. Oh, yeah, she's definitely has some now. It is a little bit tight in here. Oh, she just laid one on my hands. Here's two. All right, there we go. She's leaning forward, so we have some space here. What are you doing, Shadow? Go somewhere else. I'm a little bit busy right now. Just two more. Six of them so far, and let's see what I could do about Shadow. I just came and stood over here for a little bit, and she decided to go off on her own instead of follow me back. So I guess we're good for now. Let's see, it looks like she laid a few more eggs. Let's go ahead and pull them out. There we go. Uh-oh. Looks like she's coming back. Let's see. One more. And another one. All right, Shadow, let's give you something to eat. Just follow me this time. Come on. Let's go this way. Don't go for the eggs. Those aren't food. My grandpa went to get some cactus. I'm just going to go through here. Jump over. And, oh no, I couldn't outsmart her. Never mind. I thought she would follow me through and get stuck. But, oh well, here comes my grandpa with some cactus. I guess we're saved. Looks like she's putting her head in. Let's see if she's laid any more. Oh yeah, there's a good amount in here. Here we go. I think I just heard another one. Oh, and here comes Shadow again. Let's see, let's guide her this way. Well, that's enough tortoise ASMR. Let's get back to the main event. Oh, she just laid that one on my hand. Here we go. It looks like Shadow just wants to be next to me because she left the cactus over there. And I'm just giving Popeye a little bit of time because she's laying the eggs really slow. It looks like she's already starting to cover up. She laid a total of 19 eggs. So let's double check, make sure there's nothing in here because like I said, this nest is a little bit hard to look into. Yep, that's all empty. I'll double check again in like 5 minutes to make sure she's still covering and not laying, but 99% of the time, once they start covering, that means they're done. Now, of course, we can't visit the sulcatas without feeding Tank a little bit of cactus. Though he's a little bit busy right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut him off. Tank has a lot of babies throughout the US. This man has produced over 600 babies at this point, and that's an under exaggeration because I don't really keep track of the local babies that are sold that much. I just see the ones that have been sold on my website, and that's a lot. Obviously, the credit's not only to Tank, but Tank's the only one that has 600 babies. The females have, you know, their own chunks of that 600, but it's still pretty huge number. Here you go, buddy. I'm sure you're not gonna mind me too much. Need a little refuel, wasting a lot of energy all the time. Yeah. Well, these guys already ate today. I might as well throw a little bit because I did get them excited. I'm about to leave my grandfather's and she's still digging. So I'll just let her be and I'll collect her eggs tomorrow. With the Redfoots, I don't really worry the same way that I do with the Sulcatas because they don't usually break too many eggs if they're digging on their own. And it's funny, this Redfoot right here is my biggest female. Here's her compared to my hand. And she actually lays the least amount of eggs. She only lays usually like 1 or 2 eggs. And then this girl right here, which came to drink a little bit of water, that's not her water bowl, this is, which I need to clean out because they walk all over it. But she's my smallest one. This is a Bella, my Colombian Redfoot. and she lays the most amount of eggs. She usually lays, well, her record is 7 eggs, but she usually lays 5 to 6, and she's laid 7 a few times. Her record actually got beaten by another Redfoot tortoise recently that laid 8 eggs. But when I say I'm gonna make the enclosures easier for my tortoises, this is kind of what I mean. Improvements like this, where I could simply, for example, dump this out, turn this on, and the fresh water comes out. I could just make these types of things a little bit simpler and easier for me to change out the water, the food, or whatever it is for all my animals. And it cuts down a lot of time. Whereas before, instead of simply turning this on and cleaning this out like I did right now, I would have had to drag out the hose, pull it out, and scrub down this tub really good, because those get dirty a lot easier and they stick. The mud sticks to those, but this one's plastic, so it's super easy to clean. And that's what a freshly cleaned water bowl for tortoises looks like. As you can see, she's gonna go ahead and drink up all that water, but the next tortoise is not gonna have such clean water. And make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe to see the big plans that's happening with this enclosure. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on the sulcatas and what's going on here at Shadows Reptiles. Been very busy doing a lot of different things for the animals, upgrading a lot of enclosures and new breeding projects, taking on new rescues. So I haven't really had time to be focused on YouTube. I'm hoping now to start downsizing a lot and getting a lot of new enclosures in. That's gonna make things a little bit simpler for me. So make sure you guys stick around so that you see that. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, and have a great day.